Just to give you a weather update, the thunderstorm watch that we reported about at the top of the show has now been converted to a warning up until 6:45 p.m.
That means that severe thunderstorms have been reported on campus.
And filling up your tank is emptying your wallet more these days. The price of gas across the area is more than $3.30 for a gallon of regular. That's a 19-cent increase from this time last week.
Nationally, gas is highest in California, according to GasBuddy.com, at more than $3.60. The last time gas has been this high was back in 2008. With gas prices skyrocketing, Phoenix 14 is here to help you keep money in your pocket when you put gas in your tank. The cheapest gas prices you'll find this week are at the Citgo station on Church Street for $3.27.
And closer to campus, prices are tied. You can fill your tank for $3.31 at the Marathon on West Haggard and at the Kangaroo on the corner of campus. The Elon commitment and the 10-year plan goes forward to the University Inside Out.
One of the first major construction projects is the new Elon Town Center. The 3-story center will bring local retailers to campus and will be the new home of the campus bookstore this fall.
For the past 2 weeks of construction of the center, construction workers have been pile driving wooden beams into the ground and causing headaches for students and faculty close by. Our Elizabeth Kentlaner spoke with students and faculty who are irritated with the noise.
Each time a pile is hammered into the ground, a strong vibration can be felt, distracting many students and faculty. Freshman Catherine Bain lives in West and expressed her annoyance with the construction.
It was very distracting to almost feel your entire room shake as you hear a noise, so it's a little unnerving.
Bain used Facebook to share her displeasure. Her Facebook status read, "Please stop shaking my room. I appreciate your hard work, but it's a bit unnerving and distracting to feel my desk chair shake with every pulse." Students are not the only ones affected by the vibrations. Janet Anderson, an associate professor in the School of Communications, sent an email to her students saying she may be moving her office.
They still have more than 100 pilings still to pile drive down into the ground. So when they're driving them, it is really irritating. So I did send out an email to my students saying that you might not find me here on office hours.
Even as we interviewed Anderson in her office, the camera shook and the mic picked up booms as beams were driven into the ground. Anderson says that she is not concerned with the noise, but with the safety of the students.
I'm very concerned about students who are crossing toward the Acorn and worried about whether or not the traffic is going to be slowing down and paying attention.
The provost recently sent an email urging students to cross at the designated crosswalk at the light on Williamson Avenue and not to cross right in front of Acorn. However, many students continue to cross in the middle of the road, increasing the risk of an accident. Elizabeth Kantlener, Phoenix 14 News.
An email sent by the provost's office says the pile driving should be completed by Sunday.
We spoke with Amy Vaughn in Res Life today, and she says no students have asked to be moved in light of the construction. The new meal plan has students considering their options, but they may not be considering the nutrition behind the food they eat.
Sophie Nielsen-Colding is in Colonnades counting the calories. Sophie?
Thanks, Jasmine. Elon students have busy schedules, so sometimes good food comes low on the to-do list. I looked into how Elon students can stay healthy while staying on campus.
Would you like some brisket?
Brisket, gravy, and broccoli. Friday's main meal at Colonnades Dining Hall, but freshman Dan Consbent wants more to choose from.
If I were to want to eat healthily, I would probably want more options.
Those students want more options, Aramark is confident they offer students a lot of choices.
You can hardly swing a stick around here without hitting a dining facility.
Jeff Gazda is Aramark's resident district manager. He says that Elon has more dining venues per capita than many large state schools, with more than 10 places to eat on campus. With just one swipe, it's easy for students to grab a meal, but not as easy to know what to eat. According to mypyramid.gov, the daily calorie intake for a moderately active college male is 2,800. For a college-age female, it's 2,200. Colonnades beef brisket is 380 calories for a 3-ounce slice, well within the recommended meal allowance for men and women.
There's soups and salads and sandwiches.
A lot to choose from, but the issue might not be calories per serving.
I just take what they give me. Counting calories at the dining hall can be a bit inconvenient, so here's a quick tip. Your average dinner plate should be about half vegetables, 1/4 starches, and 1/4 protein. It's healthy and it tastes good too.
So you might eat at one of our locations, at 1 in the morning. Those are the types of things that really make a big difference.
Gazda said that lifestyle changes also play a big part in staying healthy. Along with eating well and at the right times, students also need to remember to exercise and get enough sleep. Tonight's main meal is tilapia. That's 290 calories per serving, and that also comes with a side of rice and pineapple. But you can also get a barbecue pork sandwich for 190 calories. And if you're really counting, remember that a glass of Coke is usually over 100 calories, and water has none. If you want to learn more, upstairs in Colonnades, they have pamphlets teaching you more on how to eat healthy. Live in Colonnades, Sophie Nelson-Colding, back to you guys.
Imagine life without Facebook. And no, you wouldn't die. Meet the Elon student that's living it and why she's anti-social media. We'll also tell you how to use these networks to your advantage.
The sounds of Acapalooza. Find out who was a crowd pleaser next. Virginia Tech's a cappella group Juxtaposition was a crowd favorite at Acapalooza Saturday night. Sweet Signatures hosted the 9th annual show and performed a few songs themselves. 7 a cappella groups from schools in Georgia, Maryland, North Carolina, and Virginia showed off their musical talents to an enthusiastic crowd in Whitley. Elon's Ripcord and Twisted Measure were there as well.
More than 250 million people log onto Facebook every day, but there's one Elon student you won't be able to friend. Addie Haney spoke to this anti-social media student.
I think it's a complete waste of time.
Andrea Schultz is a freshman who had Facebook for most of high school, but gave it up for Lent her junior year.
Senior year, I didn't have a Facebook at all, and I got straight A's.
After seeing the improvement in her grades, she decided to give Facebook up for good. Instead of scrolling through her news feed and looking through friends' pictures, Schultz keeps busy as a runner for the Elon track and cross-country teams and in several on-campus clubs.
There's no wasted time in my day.
And wasted time it is. According to Facebook, its more than 500 million users spend over 700 billion minutes per month poking, friending, and messaging.
It's ways to research and find people and places, as well as a way to market yourself.
But Ross Wade, Assistant Director of Career Services in the School of Communications, says Facebook also has its benefits.
That could be a good lead for you to connect with them and talk with them about how they got that job, if they know anyone else there that maybe they could connect you with, etc.
Despite the benefits, Schultz says she will continue to stay off the newsfeed and out of the chat. Addie Haney, Phoenix 14 News, Tonight.
Although Wade says Facebook can be used for the job search, he recommends that it be more for personal use.
Coming up, from Elon to Afghanistan, we're introducing you to the 09 grad who's about to serve overseas. That's coming up on Phoenix 14 News.
Men's basketball coach Matt Matheny gives us his thoughts on the team heading into the upcoming Southern Conference tournament. Sports is coming up on the other side of the break. I'm Steve Roth, and that means it's time for Phoenix 14 Sports. Let's take a look at what's happening in the Elon sports world. The baseball team played this past weekend in Tampa against South Florida. They won the first game on Friday in comeback fashion, winning in the 10th inning to beat the Bulls 4-3. On Saturday, it was another close one, but South Florida hit a walk-off home run in the 9th inning to win it 3-2. Sunday included the Phoenix's Nico Frazier getting a hit that would score 2 in the 16th inning for a 7-5 final to take the series. The men's basketball team concluded the regular season as they took on Georgia Southern on Saturday, defeating them by a score of 72-57. They finished the regular season with a 7-11 Southern Conference record and will head to Chattanooga, Tennessee for the conference tournament. The women's basketball team also finished their season Saturday as they traveled to College of Charleston, where they won by a score of 61-51. The women finished with a 12-8 conference record on the season. The softball team played South Carolina in a doubleheader on Saturday and ended up winning one game and losing the other. They are now 8-2. The softball team travels to Florida this weekend to participate in the Stetson Classic Tournament. The baseball team plays again on Wednesday at home against UNC Wilmington. They then host the Elon Invitational Tournament through the weekend, which includes games against Wright State, West Virginia, and Temple University. The men's and women's basketball teams compete in the Southern Conference Tournament this weekend in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The men take on the Citadel on Friday at 9:30 p.m., while the women play Furman on Saturday at 9 o'clock a.m. The tournaments wrap up for both the men and women on March 7th for the championship games. Earlier today, we caught up with men's basketball coach Matt Matheny, who talked about the state of the team going into this weekend's tournament.
Well, I feel really good about where we are going into the tournament because we've won 3 of our last 4, and I feel like we're playing some of our better basketball right now, and a lot of credit has to go to our veteran leadership.
The men enter the tournament as the number 4 seed in the North Division, while the women's team enters as the 4th overall seed in the conference. Also today, Allie Ford and Kelsey Evans were named second-team All-League selections by the Southern Conference media. That will do it for your weekend sports. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Steve. An Elon alumnus has been training for his job since 2005 when he was an Elon freshman. He trained at Elon while attending classes and spent his summers training on base.
Laura Levitt talked to this alumnus who found a job serving his country.
Being able to draw from different backgrounds, to be able to relate to them better so that you don't just come in thinking, looking and thinking like a Western type person.
Elon alumnus Joey DiNenno is depending on what he learned at Elon to help during his deployment to Afghanistan.
International relations, things like that really helped with the customs, courtesies, and just being able to speak to and just being able to relate to people.
DiNenno was a strategic communications major, but he was also involved in Army ROTC. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant the day before his 2009 graduation and was promoted to first lieutenant this fall. Dr. Ken Gaither was DiNenno's advisor and believes DiNenno's integrity will help him succeed.
He really lives what the Army is about, honor and respect and discipline, all those things. And the interesting thing about Joey is he brought it into the classroom.
After training stateside since graduation, DiNenno is being deployed on March 7th, and his tour will last for about 1 year.
He's ready for this. He wants to do this. He's been talking about it ever since he's been at Elon.
DiNenno is anxious, and he's thankful for the support from his friends and family.
It means everything. It helps you get up in the morning every day. You can't really describe it in words.
Laura Levitt, Phoenix 14 News Tonight.
That's all the time we have for this Phoenix 14 News.
Continue to follow us online for more news updates at phoenix14news.wordpress.com. I'm Jasmine Spencer.
And I'm Mallory Lane. Have a great week, Elon. And as we leave, take a listen to some of the acapalooza from the past weekend.